What's up YouTube? Andy, Digitech Dad, live from Melbourne. Today I'll be reviewing two note-taking app for iOS. You've seen my previous video looking at Notability compared to, I think it's GoodNotes. In this video I'll be comparing Notability with another app called ZoomNotes. This is my own experience, this is my own opinion, so if you have a different opinion about these two apps, please leave your comment down below. So in order to compare these two apps, I'll be looking at their user interface, the compatibility with Apple Pen, and finally their price. So if you want to know more about these two note apps, continue watching. So the first app that I'm going to review is the Notability app. Okay, so let's go through the Notability app. So first of all, the user interface for Notability app is very good. It's very clean, it's not laggy, and it's just easy to use. From the top, you can actually see the icon to create a note, to import, to search, and to create new categories or dividers, to export, and also to edit or customize your categories. So you can actually see on the left is basically the categories. So because I work in medicine, it's basically pediatric, neonates, medications, and administration work. And on the left, on the right side is actually the notes that you create. So for example, if I want to create a note in Notability, I'm just simply gonna click on that icon using my Apple Pen, and you are presented with the first page of your notebook. So let's say I want to create the first page. So this is the first page. There's a bit of a lag between me writing it on my iPad and the recording on the screen, so you have to bear with me. So what I like about Notability is that using this icon, you can actually see the pages that you have created. So for example, this is the first page. If I go to a second page, this is the second page. So the writing kind of feeling is very smooth, no lagging, no smudge on the screen. If I want to review my pages, I just click this particular icon, and you can actually straight see the pages that I have created. So once I've done the second page, the third page automatically appears. So let's say if I go and start writing the third page, you can actually see the fourth appearing immediately on the right bottom corner. So this, see how it creates automatically? This is the fourth page. So in terms of user interface, Donald Trump, election, trail, tirades, whatever. So you can actually see how the user interface for Notability is such a lovely experience. So I'll go through the icon on the top. So you have the page icon, you have the, I think this is the utilities. You can actually add pictures, GIF, figures, web clip, whatever you want. This is for recording audio. If you want to kind of protect your screen from any accidental writing, you just press on that button. So once you press that, whatever you do on the screen, you can actually see the screen moving. That's, I'm trying to write it on it, but it doesn't do anything. So that is the kind of a screen protection button. Cutting, eraser, these are the highlights. You can use different colors. And then this is the pen tool. And then if you want to type, you just use this typing tool. So in terms of user interface, I would highly recommend Notability app. No issue with lagging, no issue with finding my way around the app. In terms of compatibility with the Apple Pen, again, no issues, smooth writing, no smudges, and I find it's really enjoyable using Apple Pen with this app. Now the price, it's $14.99 in Australia. It's probably about $10 in America. That depends on what you actually use the app for. If you're a heavy user, you're a college student, you're in a business, you do a lot of note taking during appointments, during meeting, and like for myself in the hospital, I do a lot of note taking for my work, then definitely get it. Don't question yourself. You'll be happy with your purchase. Now the second app that I'm going to review is also known as ZoomNotes. It's not as popular as Notability, but I actually purchased this ZoomNote because of few of the features that it has that Notability does not have. So we'll again go through the user interface, compatibility with Apple Pen, and also the price, and see which one is actually best for your situation or that actually suits you better. Recording, right? Okay, in the second part of this video, I'll be looking at ZoomNotes. So that is the kind of icon for ZoomNotes next to the Notability app, and we'll go through each of the kind of criteria that I mentioned earlier. So let's go and go into the app. All right, first of all, the user interface for the ZoomNotes. Although the price is close to Notability, the user interface is not the most eye-appealing in the App Store. I'm surprised because I expect App Store apps that are really visual, really high standard app. So for the ZoomNote to actually have this kind of setup does not actually meet my expectations. So let's start with, so you can actually see on the screen on the right corner there, you can actually see, let's go and go through just pick one of them. So we're just going to use that kind of a note as a template. So we'll click on that. Takes a while for it to open. Now, this is where the difference between Notability and ZoomNotes actually becomes more apparent. You can actually see that the user interface for this app is not the most eye-appealing, so it's a bit all over the place. It doesn't have a structure in my personal opinion, but functionality, yes, it works. So first of all, we'll go through, this is basically just to expand the screen to full screen, get rid of all the icons. This is to import. So if I click that, you can actually see or you want to share your notes with your friends. This icon here is to record. We'll close that back. This is basically the Apple logo, show you that it actually supports Apple Pencil, but we'll go through how compatible it is with the Apple Pen itself. And then these are the layers. This is one of the features that Notability does not have, which I'll explain later. And then you have settings there. These are the settings app icon. You have the snapping. This is if you want to draw something and you need something to guide you. These are the one that you actually use to guide your drawing. And then you have this tool icon here to insert pictures, to insert or import pictures. I don't use this very much. And then on the side of this is just the tool for the pen, I think this is for the typing tool. This is for the pen tool, eraser on the bottom here, clipping, bookmark, and that is actually, not sure what that is. I don't actually use that very often. Anyway, so we'll just pick first of all the pen. We'll just drag for the thickness. This is the drag, so you just drag your pen, your Apple Pencil, depending on how thick you want your writing to be. And then at the bottom, this is another feature that Notability does not have, which is the layers, and I'll explain to you what the layers mean by showing you an example. So let's say today is Monday, I'm creating a note. So let's say I'm creating a note about Monday. So let's start that. Monday is the first day of the week. The writing is smooth, but you can actually see here there's a bit of a kind of a disconnection there. I'm not sure why that happens. Now this is the features that I mentioned earlier, called layers. So let's say this is Monday, right? So come tomorrow it's Tuesday, so I want to use a different kind of a reminder that that note is related to a different day. So what I do is, this is considered as the first layer. So this kind of a typing or writing here, Monday, is the first layer. I want to create a second layer, and I'll show you what the layers mean. So by creating a layer, so basically this is where I create a second layer. So this is the first layer, visible and current. If I press that button there, it creates a second layer and it becomes the current layer. So visible, current, and then you can still see that visible, the first layer, which is Monday, but if I click that, the Monday disappears. So you understand what I'm saying, first layer, second layer. So why this is very useful is that, let's say the current is the second layer, you can actually see is the second layer that is current. Now let's say I'll use a different color to make it more obvious to you. Pick a green there, and then close it back. So let's say I'm on a Tuesday and I have a different note that I want to make. So I'll write down Tuesday, second day of the week. I just realized this is probably Monday is, it's supposed to be is. Okay, let's say this is a Tuesday. I realized, oh, the Monday note is wrong, so I'll change it to Tuesday. So Tuesday is the second day of the week. Remember, this is the second layer. So what I do is, if I want to see layers by layers, I can actually use that tool here to actually show me the notes that I want to see. So if I click that, so if I keep layer 2 visible and remove layer 1, you'll see what happened. So you can see the second layer stays, the first layer is gone. So I can concentrate what I did on Tuesday, and you can continue this on the different page of the different notebook. So you can do this with every page of your notebook. So this is one of the features that Notability does not have, that might be useful for you guys, like students, like in an appointment or in a meeting, you decided, oh, this is something very important that I need to remember on a particular day. Yes, then use the layers so you can actually concentrate what you need to do on that particular day. Okay, this is the first feature. The second feature is called note within a note. So Notability doesn't do that, but ZoomNote does. And I'll show you what I mean. I'll go to a second page, and to actually go to the second page, you just kind of swipe the screen. Now I'll turn back to the black pen color. Go there. So what I mean by note within a note, so let's say I have this single page. I want to put several notes in the same page. That means each of those notes can actually expand to another note, and you can actually add a note within a note within a note, depending on how many layers you want. So let's go and do that. I put it there. Okay, so let's say I'm gonna write down, this is my main note, and then these are sub notes. So I've created a sub note there. You can actually see that is the sub note. Let's say I want to create another one. I'll just click on that button up here, click on that, and then I can resize it and then position it here, or make it a bit smaller there. And then if I want to create another one, I'm just gonna press another button there and then resize it and make it smaller. Let's say I put it here. Okay, so I have 3 subnodes located within a single page. How do I get to those subnodes? So you'll see, I'm gonna double click on this note here with my finger, double click. It will expand. See it expand? It doesn't actually see it on the screen, but it actually expands. So let's say if I write down, this is my first subnodes. Okay, this is just within that single node that I located on the right kind of upper corner. So if I want to go back to the main page, I have to click on that. You see that arrow pointing upwards? I'm going to click on that, and this page is going to kind of shrink and go back to its position. Just watch. See what I mean? That is a node within a node. So let's say I want to go to the second node, which is the one below. Double click on that, and it just expand. Bit of a lag, see, expand. So this is my second sub node. And then if I want to go back, I'll just go click on that. It shrinks and it creates a sub node to your main node. Now I'm going to do a node within a node within a node and see whether the app can actually handle that. So I'll double click the one at the bottom, double click, it'll open up. Now this is my third sub nodes. All right, now I want to create another node. I'm just going to click on that with my pencil. See, it creates another node. So you can imagine how functional this could be. Just place it there. You can actually create a node within a node within a node. I don't know how many layers. I've never tried it that far. So this is probably the second layer of my single page just now. And then kind of what you do is you double click outside the node to actually kind of stick it on that node. And then if I want to write on that particular node, double click on the node with your finger. It opens up. So this is a subnode within a subnode. So you can actually see how functional ZoomNotes can be compared to Notability. So if I want to go back, I'll just go and press that button. You can actually see the number becomes 2 now because there's a 2 subnodes. So if I go back, it goes to the kind of a first layer, and then if I press that button again, it goes back all to the main node. So you can actually see here, there's a node that's small, bigger, and the biggest. So that is one of the features why I actually purchased ZoomNote, is because of that functionality on top of the layers that I mentioned earlier on my first page. So this is one of the things that you need to be aware. If I go back here, you can actually see the screen is a bit blurry. I'm not sure why, whether that's a software issue, but when I press on the layer button, for some reason my first layer just disappeared. I'm not sure why that is. It happens from time to time. So this could be an issue that needs to be rectified by the developers. See, it's still doing that. I'm not sure why. So beware of that before you purchase this app. This happens sometimes. So let's say if I go to a, and you can believe that. So if I go to the page, go there, it just disappears. So this is one of the problems with the ZoomNote. So you can actually see on the ZoomNotes, the issue with the app is its instability and the lagginess. Although the features are good, you can actually see, you saw it on the video, my notes just disappeared. So that's why I don't actually use it very much. That is the problem with the app itself. So in terms of user interface, I probably give it 3, not more than 3 out of 5. In terms of compatibility with Apple Pen, probably 4.5 out of 5. And finally, the price is $12.99. Probably it's equivalent to about $9 in America. My personal opinion, if you ask me which one is better, ZoomNotes or Notability, I'll say Notability, not ZoomNotes. I wish some of the features that ZoomNote has can be implemented in Notability. If they've done it, then Notability is the perfect note. No question about it. If you have questions, if you have opinion that you want to share, leave a comment down below. Like this video, and subscribe. So until then, Andy, Digitech Dad, peace out.